Worryingly so, sir. Brigadier Dheman, a few of our soldiers are still missing.
हमारी आर्मी एक प्रोफेशनल आर्मी है।
पर इंडिया के साथ जो लाइन ऑफ एक्चुअल कंट्रोल है वो जानबूझकर नहीं समझाना चाहता।
आप जो सरकार को जिस तरह से घेरना चाहते हैं घेरिए, और इसके खत्म होने के बाद
टेररिज्म, क्रॉस बॉर्डर टेररिज्म, ये सब नहीं चलने वाला।
अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मुद्दों पर आपकी पकड़ भी हो कुछ ऐसी जो करे आपको और लोगों से अलग। तो ब्रिगेडियर डॉक्टर विजय सागर धीमान को YouTube, Facebook, Twitter पर फॉलो करना ना भूलें।
Hi friends, welcome to our YouTube channel Brigadier Guides You. This is being brought to you on the portals of VR1 courtesy International Institute of Jammu and Kashmir Studies and Analysis, that is IJSA. In this series of Gilgit-Baltistan issue, we have already told you in the last episode how Pakistan, after getting control of this region Gilgit-Baltistan, how it has been exploiting the region till date, and how it has allowed the entry of Chinese into the region, firstly in 1963 when it gave part of the territory to China on a permanent basis, and secondly what it has done now to help China in its China Economic Corridor project, that is CPEC, which is a part of One Border, One Road initiative of China. So let's see how this surreptitious entry of China happened in this region and what are the implications for all that. So let's see what are the China's interests over here. Like any other superpower of the world, China too had its focus on this region all along. Availability of mighty mountain ranges with isolated passes kept the Chinese strategic desires satisfied for a long time. But with the annexation of East Turkestan, that is present-day Xinjiang province, and Tibet, and the Shaksgam, that is Trans-Karakoram tract region, which was taken from Pakistan in Principality of Hunza, the Baltistan under the control of Pakistan became a major critical connectivity issue in strategic terms. This was the first time that Chinese looked towards this region and negotiated with the government of Pakistan for control of this region. It appears that China, for a small economic and aid package and a consignment of few weapons to Pakistan, could extract the gigantic strategic and tactical advantages for itself. Consequently, it had built Karakoram highway through this region and updated the connectivity with Pakistan, and also updated the connectivity between Tibet and Xinjiang. Well, now the China has conceived the idea of one border, one road in the last decade. The vulnerability of China's commercial trade at the Malacca Strait in Indian Ocean and a requirement of a warm water port in Indian Ocean, which is at Gwadar in Balochistan, well, the Chinese thought it fit to negotiate all this with Pakistan. The port could be connected to Kashmir in China due to its availability of Karakoram highway through Kundre Pass. China once again lured Pakistan to get China-Pakistan economic corridor through this region. And today, the Gilgit-Baltistan has prominent footfall of Chinese men and material. Now let's see what exactly are the implications of China-Pakistan economic corridor in this region. China is involved in this region in making 8-lane highway, 2-lane railways and energy pipelines, all involving a large number of tunnels and fiber cable reels through this region. There are a number of hydel projects and massive exploitation of forests and mineral resources threatening the fragile eco-diversity of this area. In May 2019, Pakistan Board of Investments approved the fast-track deployment of 9 SEZs, including Makmona Das, about 40 km from city of Gilgit. These SEZs are playing havoc with the endangered environment. The rules to conserve the environment and biodiversities are not being followed at all. The obsolete technology is playing havoc at the construction sites on the mountains and the forests being done by China. Construction of more than 20 tunnels has exacerbated the situation to a point of no return. And all this is continuing unabated, and China pays no heed to it. The citizens of Gilgit-Baltistan never reconcile to the idea of enslaving the region by Pakistani government to China. The extreme deprivations, the exploitation of masses coupled with ethnic, cultural and political marginalization has resulted in a great uprising against the Chinese projects. Active militancy against China has taken roots in this region already. The growth of militancy is also on account of emergence of militant groups in Xinjiang province of China, where Uyghur Muslims are being persecuted and brainwashed by the Chinese Hans. Uyghur Muslim groups are in the progress of establishing their training camps in Gilgit-Baltistan today. And the Chinese geopolitical, strategic and commercial interests are being threatened by the rising militancy in this region. The China is also threatened by the militant groups in Xinjiang operating from the safe havens of Gilgit-Baltistan. These considerations have made the Chinese vulnerable and have forced the Pakistan to tighten the control in this region. After the de-operationalization of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir, the voices of India have also begun to demand reoccupation of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan. In an eventuality, this would endanger the CPEC project of China-Pakistan and jeopardize the other Chinese investments in this region. Even the vulnerability of Highway G1219 connecting Tibet with Xinjiang will also come to the fore. Now let's see what are the Pakistani interests in this particular region. The twin river systems of Indus and Shyok pass through this region. These rivers form the bulk of water supply systems in entire Pakistan. If this region is taken back by India, it would severely affect the Pakistani water supply for agriculture and other purposes. As it is, the Indus Water Treaty between India and Pakistan is in sharp focus already. India had given this water usage rights to Pakistan as goodwill measure. However, Pakistan's audacious use of terror as policy of deep state against India and the rest of the world has forced the strategic thinkers to review this treaty in wake of Pakistan's state-sponsored terrorism against India. This region also lends defense potential to Pakistani military in case of war against India at multiple fronts. The military potential of eastern boundary at line of control with India at Kargil and Siachen gets diluted if Pakistan loses the control of this region. Pakistan is also able to maintain its lane connectivity to China and effectively block India's land connectivity to Afghanistan and other Central Asian countries. Now let's see what are the Indian options in this region. Well, de-operationalization of Article 370 in Jammu and Kashmir and converting it into two unit territories directly under the constitutional control of Union government has unnerved many an analyst in China and Pakistan. India has de facto integrated the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir in Indian Union with the credible declarations of reuniting the areas of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan with India. Now what should India do? India has to empathize with people of Gilgit-Baltistan by running a media campaign to build a narrative which exposes Pakistan's misdeeds in this region. It has also to support the anti-Pakistan elements in all forms. And Pakistan has done too much in this region in every sphere which India can work on and elevate the misery. Pakistan has done enough misadventures in this region in every sphere which India can work on to alleviate the misery of the citizens of this region. The same can be presented before the world in a very, very powerful campaign to expose the blatant human rights abuses and overt across the board marginalization of the citizens of Gilgit and Baltistan. At political level, India has to openly come in support of the people of Gilgit-Baltistan. The marginalized voices must be aired in front of the whole world. It may involve giving asylum to the persecuted leaders from Gilgit-Baltistan and fill the seats reserved for this region in the Legislative Assembly of Jammu and Kashmir. India may be required to host a provincial government in exile from Gilgit-Baltistan. Well, at diplomatic front, all the Indian diplomatic mission across the world should hold briefings on the plight of people of Gilgit-Baltistan on regular basis. India must make an earnest effort to tell the whole world that this region legitimately belongs to India, as the erstwhile state acceded to India by way of a legal instrument of accession. The Maharaja Hari Singh did not thus sign the instrument of accession under any duress, as it is widely propagated. The world should also be told that Pakistan's non-compliance of UN resolutions and its subsequent acts have made 72 years old resolution as inoperable now. At the military level, India has to redefine its military doctrine in China in focus. The military in India has to galvanize itself into an efficient fighting machine capable of fighting war on 2 plus half fronts. The two fronts include China and Pakistan in any type of warfare, and next half is fighting militancy in Jammu and Kashmir and in Northeast region, both perpetrated by Pakistan and China. And the last half front includes fighting Chinese and Pakistan in cyberspace, in outer space, in information warfare, in commercial warfare, and rogue citizens warfare, which includes estranged communists on China's payrolls and the so-called elite opinion makers from Lutyens Delhi. The day this entire state, that is the erstwhile state, as established by Maharaja Gulab Singh and as handed over to India by a legal instrument of accession by Maharaja Hari Singh, gets integrated into the rest of India, it would be a red letter day for all of us. So we have seen how the people of Gilgit-Baltistan has suffered all these years and are still continuing to suffer at the hand of Pakistanis and Chinas, and how Indians should sort of step into, integrate their region back into Indian territory and alleviate the miseries of these people. So viewers, that was our story on Gilgit-Baltistan, and I hope you liked it on this YouTube channel, Brigadier Guides You, on the portals of VR1. Well, this was brought to you courtesy International Institute of J&K Studies and Analysis, that is ITSA, and keep watching the functions of ITSA. Until then, goodbye, Jai Bharat and Jai Hind.
Worryingly so, sir. Brigadier Dheman, few of our soldiers are still missing.
हमारी आर्मी एक प्रोफेशनल आर्मी है।
पर इंडिया के साथ जो लाइन ऑफ एक्चुअल कंट्रोल है वो जानबूझ कर नहीं समझाना चाहता।
आप जो सरकार को जिस तरह से घेरना चाहते हैं घेरिए, मगर इसके खत्म होने के बाद
टेररिज्म, क्रॉस बॉर्डर टेररिज्म, ये सब नहीं चलेगा।
अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मुद्दों पर आपकी पकड़ भी हो कुछ ऐसी, जो करे आपको और लोगों से अलग। तो ब्रिगेडियर डॉक्टर विजय सागर धीमान को YouTube, Facebook, Twitter पर फॉलो करना ना भूलें।